This I wanna nail sports to the bone. Top blogger, top YouTube channel. No matter which sports, here we got it covered. Subscribe and hit the notification bell.
What's up, my wonderful peeps? Sports to the bone here again, man. Shout out to all the viewers, subscribers, and the followers. Big up on yourself. Alright, my viewers and subscribers. So I have another one for you guys. And funny enough, we were talking about this same issue on the last live that we did, where we were talking about Andre Russell and his decision when to represent or when not to represent West Indies. So I am actually on the Sportsmax website and I am seeing Andrew Mason, who we know is a well-known cricket journalist, also holds the Mason and Guest show. You understand? A man that is highly respected when it comes on to his cricketing views. He has spoken, so I'm just going to read this article for you guys so you can hear exactly what Andrew Mason is saying. Alright, my viewers and subscribers. But before we go down into all of that, I'm just going to ask you to go right ahead and smash that subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed. Also leave a like and drop a comment at the top of the article here. And this Sportsmax article is written by Mr. Levy. So the top of it, the headline says, "We cannot continue with this foolishness with these guys," says Andrew Mason, and Russell only choosing West Indies when convenient. Alright, so the article starts off and it goes on to say, the issue of Andre Russell's loyalty to West Indies cricket was up for discussion on the Mason and Guest talk show in Barbados on Tuesday night, and it sparked a continuous conversation between the show's host Andrew Mason and CWI West Indies Vice President Mr. Shallow. Alright, Mason believes the CWI is seemingly willing to bend over backwards to accommodate the players, right? Russell had declared himself unavailable for the West Indies tour of Pakistan for these T20 internationals, citing personal reasons. Told you guys what the personal reasons are already, going off to play BBL. A relatively inexperienced West Indies team has so far lost 2 of 3 matches with 1 match to go on Thursday. The article goes on and says, meanwhile, Russell signed on to represent the Melbourne Stars in the Australia's Big Bash League on the weekend. He scored an unbeaten 42 from 21 balls and was named the man of the match in the Stars' 6-wicket win over the Sydney Thunder. Now, on Tuesday, Dr. Shallow sought to explain why Russell was in Australia and not in Pakistan helping the West Indies. Alright, he's quoted as saying, Russell indicated to the lead selector that he was mentally fatigued in the bubble and in the Big Bash League, where he is now, he would be required to be in the bubble, Dr. Shallow said. Well, on make it go again. Russell indicated to the lead selector that he was mentally fatigued in the bubble and in the Big Bash League, where he is now, he would be required to be in a bubble, Dr. Shallow said. That was the rationale provided to the lead selector. And it goes on to say, and obviously, right, obviously Mason was unable to contain his displeasure at the situation where certain players only choose to represent the West Indies when it suits them too. He's quoted as saying, and I quote, "Yes, Dr. Shallow, they have got to get opportunity to make money, but there is a word called sacrifice," Mason declared, adding that such situations are almost unique to West Indies players. He goes on to say the other players didn't do it to their countries, and I'm sure Russell is going to be ready to play for us in the World Cup, and we are going to pick him. What you mean? We cannot continue with the foolishness with these guys. Now, Sir Andy Roberts also weighed in on Dr. Shallow's explanation, suggesting that players seem to make their decisions based on money only. These guys just don't want to play for West Indies because the fees ain't that high, said the long retired fast bowler. I am not saying that they should not be allowed to go about. They should only go if the West Indies do not require their services. Now, this is not the first time Russell has faced criticism over his decision on when to represent West Indies. In December 2020, the iconic Antiguan fast bowler publicly criticized Andre Russell, who declared who declined an invitation to play for West Indies against New Zealand, but later went to play in the Sri Lanka Premier League. Deal with them, Russell. Now, Chief Selector Roger Harper told media that Russell declined the West Indies invitation, citing the need to clear his mind after in the quarantine lockdown for both Caribbean Premier League and held in the Caribbean Premier League in Trinidad and Tobago, where he played for the Jamaica Talawas franchise then. Now, the Indian Premier League, the Abu Dhabi T10, where he played for the Calcutta Knight Riders. Alright, the next quotation says, because he wants to clear his head for a while to get his mind together. I have no problem with that because cricket is a high pressure game, Ambrose said. So if you want to clear your head for a while, take your mind off cricket. I have no issue with that. But if you are going to reject playing for your nation, your country, and then 2 weeks later you're playing for somebody else, that to me is a no-no. In a later interview, Ambrose provided further clarity. The game has evolved. There is a lot more cricket being played now and many different T20 tournaments around the globe. And there's lots of money as well. So guys are going to go where the money is, and I have no issues with that, Ambrose said. A cricket career can be a very short one. Once you have an injury, it could be all over for you. So with guys going around playing their trade with different franchises, making money to set themselves up financially, I have no issue with that. However, I think it needs to strike a balance somewhere because of these guys who are playing their trade around the world. It's because they played for a West Indies team, why people saw them and gave them contracts. So for me, you need to find a balance somewhere where you can give back to West Indies cricket. You need to give back to West Indies cricket some point as opposed to abandoning the West Indies. So there you have it, my viewers and subscribers. A very stinging article there. And we recently spoke about this on the live show where, you know, a couple of my fellow subscribers, you know, they were talking about it. You know, people like Ronaldo and Ian and Valistan. A couple of guys were on and, you know, we were debating whether or not these players should be called back for the T20 World Cup when they just up and leave the team, especially going into Pakistan with an inexperienced team. A man says that he wants personal break, and then a week or 2 weeks after, you see the same man playing his trade in a different league. Do we go ahead and pick this man for the T20 World Cup coming up next year? Or do we say to him, you have no time for us, so we have no time for you? How do we work this one, my viewers and subscribers? This right here is a very serious predicament, you know. And it's not the first time. First time we used to have people like Pollard, Gale, Bravo, Narayan. These guys were all put under the bus because of this. But then again, we have to remember that CWI, they have this tendency to not pick people based off form and pick their friends. So are we supposed to tell these guys to give up their future, give up their cash and play for West Indies cricket without any certainty of being picked? That is a good question, but here what I would say to that, these same guys, whether they perform for West Indies or not, they are always selected to play in the big tournaments. So then again, these guys might not have anything to worry about. But I'm going to leave this one right here for you guys to ponder and to wonder. Sports to the bone. Keeping you informed. Please remember to like, share, leave us a comment. If you have not yet subscribed, go right ahead and subscribe to the channel. I'm out.